the next segment, the last actual thing that we have planned, besides hanging with chat, this one is a little game that we're going to play with Evan, okay? And this is which is better, all right? Now we have, I think I did 7 movies. So I'm going to say Superman and give him a comic book style movie, okay? He has to tell us what movie he thinks is better, and then, of course, why. He does not know the movies I picked. This is going to be raw reaction. So welcome to Which is Better? First ever time, all right? So for the first one, we have Superman. So which is better? It's Superman or Man of Steel?
This one does not take a ton of thought from me, just because, like I mentioned earlier, I think that David Cornsweet is better as Superman. I think Superman is better than Man of Steel. And my big reasonings behind it is Man of Steel feels like you take a comic book character, which they've done this with Batman a lot, but Batman works in a grounded universe. Superman doesn't work as well in a grounded universe. And Man of Steel is really dark. It's grounded. I loved how Superman was fantastical. It was comic booky. It felt like you were reading a comic when you were reading it, and there was nothing about this movie that made it feel like, oh, this is real life, other than recognizing parts of the movie that were in Ohio, which I have actually seen with my own 2 eyes, like Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. So Superman is better than Man of Steel, in my opinion.
Fair enough. And also the suit. Like, dude, the suit was spot on for me. I loved it so much. I'm glad they went with what they did. Man of Steel was a lot more, like you said, it was more dark. It was just, and I feel like in the 2010s, we went through a period where they turned all of the comic book movies dark. Everything was dark. So I like that we're finally getting to this. And with Superman, looks very comic book. It gives you that feel. Fantastic Four, same way. I think they look incredible. So that was my thoughts on that.
Absolutely. And I am not a hater of the trunks. I thought the trunks were awesome for Superman. Yeah. I'm happy they did the trunks.
Yeah, not a hater at all. For the second one, we have which is better, Superman or the Avengers?
Ooh. That is actually a tough response.
I know I'd stump him with one, chat.
I'm going to say that, first of all, both of these movies are very good. I think they're very close as far as where I find them for enjoyment. I'm going to give the edge, though, to the Avengers.
Ooh, okay.
My reason being, this was the first time we ever saw a collective team, the way they did it, on the big screen. They brought together 6 characters, all vastly different, straight out of the comics. And they didn't even know if it was going to work. But it did, and it turned into what it is now. If we were talking, if this was a solo film for Marvel from Phase 1, it'd be hard to give an edge to a lot of those over Superman, because Superman it hit the ground running, and it didn't stop. It was great. But I'm giving the edge to the Avengers slightly, because I think that just what it accomplished as a film had more of an impact for me than what Superman did.
Fair enough. That's a good response. A third one I think is going to be even more difficult, in my opinion, than that one for you.
It's going to be a Spider-Man film.
Which is better, Evan? Superman or Thor: Love and Thunder?
Superman. I'm not even giving an explanation. Thor: Love and Thunder is trash.
Yo, Thor: Love and Thunder is trash?
Christian Bale. Wasted Christian Bale. One of the greatest actors you could have brought into Marvel. Thor: Love and Thunder is not better than any movie you could tell me.
I put that one
I'm saying this right here and right now. Thor: Love and Thunder is a worse movie than Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I know you would agree, but that's a hot take for me. Because
fair.
I can't stand The Last Jedi. I would rather watch The Last Jedi than watch Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's a fair take. That I put that one in there because I knew your reaction would give you a phenomenal clip. So you're welcome. Now
Thanks.
we're into all seriousness. Like these last four, these are going to be a little more tough for you.
Okay.
So we have, which is better, Superman or TASM 1?
Oh man, now you're messing with nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
You're messing with nostalgia because I absolutely love TASM 1. I would watch TASM 1 any day of the week if I had the option to. I do think Superman is a better movie. There are holes with TASM. Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man, and I actually really enjoyed The Lizard. I don't think it's as much of a landslide as Cam would say it is, in his opinion, but in my opinion, because I love both of the films. But Superman is better. It's overall, there's never a part of Superman that I was bored. There gets a couple scenes like that in TASM that I am a little bit bored, not because it's a bad movie, it's just because it's kind of slow. And it was the second time seeing Peter Parker's origin when I didn't really think we had to. Superman was great. I'm not a hater of origin stories, but when you've seen it a ton, it's refreshing to see a movie that's not an origin for the first one. So Superman is better.
Fair enough. All right. I would agree. I don't think a single one of these I've disagreed with you. Next up, we have, which is better, Superman or The Dark Knight?
Ooh.
Superman or The Dark Knight? Ooh.
I think The Dark Knight is a better film.
Cam said Superman.
I know. Cam thinks that Superman is probably the best thing that's come out of DC. Period. Like any DC. Not the DCU, not the DCEU, everything. The Dark Knight is a better film. And I will give you a big reason. A big reason is, even though that film is carried by the villain, in my opinion, I thought Lex Luthor was the best character in this film. But I don't think that Lex Luthor was a better villain than what Heath Ledger was as like the Joker. I think the Joker was a better villain, and that was probably one of the best performances ever in a DC movie, any DC movie, and that is a childhood nostalgic film for me. It's not the best Batman film we've got. It's number 2, but it is very, very close. I love Christian Bale. Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson are honestly on the same tier as me, even though I think that each of them have different aspects about them that is better as Batman. But I'd like to see Superman mature a little bit more as a character before I say anything about him being better than Christian Bale's Batman. Because I thought The Dark Knight was great. If you would have asked me if the Superman was better than Batman Begins, I would have said Superman is better than Batman Begins, but it is not better than The Dark Knight.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's better than most Batman movies for me, but too. That's probably really my take on it. So next up we have, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid because we knew it was coming. Superman or the Batman?
I think the Batman is better than Superman.
Yeah.
Personally, there's not a ton of DC films that I would rank above Superman, but those are the two. Those two are phenomenal. And if I think that the Batman is better than The Dark Knight, then I definitely think that the Batman is better than Superman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I don't really feel like that one's close.
I think that the Batman has more of a compelling story. There's a lot of... The thing that the Batman does nice is, as much as it is similar in the aspect of it's not an origin, we're a little bit into his career. I think that solely focusing on him and not having to focus on a ton of other characters was a little bit better. Superman had a lot of characters, which were not bad because you have to have all of those characters in Superman. There was less characters that you had to develop in the Batman. You focused a lot more on Bruce, you focused a lot on Selina and the Riddler. Now, you did have Falcone, and you had like the crime family, and you found out a lot about that. But Superman, like you're dealing with Superman. You have Lois, you have Jimmy Olsen, you have Guy Gardner, you have Mr. Terrific, you have Crypto, Lex Luthor, the what's her name? It's not the electrician, the engineer. So there's a lot of people in Superman that you're having to deal with, which I didn't think was bad. I loved the film, and I was able to keep up with it. I just liked that Batman was a little bit more simple, and it built his world a little bit better solely around him.
True, but I also think I almost feel like, although I don't know that it. I was gonna say our love, me and you for Batman carries, but it also it doesn't, dude. That movie's just so good. That movie is so good.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
With the last one, for the first edition of Which Is Better, we have Superman or Infinity War.
Oh, that's not a question. Infinity War is better.
Ooh, okay.
Infinity War, dude. Obviously, we talk about Endgame being a culmination of the first 10 years of Marvel. Infinity War is the first half of that. It's the first half of a 10-year culmination.
Yeah.
Superman is the beginning. It's a great beginning, but it doesn't compare to what is almost not even arguable the best comic book movie of all time. Because there's so much going on. They handle it so well, and the build up to it was insane. So Infinity War, in my opinion, I don't think it's a contest of what's better between Infinity War and Superman.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That wraps up that section, though. So
yeah,
I had a blast doing that. That was fun. I enjoyed giving my raw, on the spot take.
Yeah. That was fun.